So is it just only a paper exercise, or is it something useful? So budgeting involves a lot of estimation, and it's and efforts. It's not just a paper exercise, because just because it's we have to do a lot of estimates. It's not just only that we have to write something on the paper for our P&L purposes or for producing the management accounts. It's more of a strategic planning. And how we can make it useful is by brainstorming the strategic decision directions, and then we create the scenarios. So the management team, the core management team for every discipline, whether it's the sales and marketing, whether it's the production, whether it's the digital marketing, the finance, the human resources, they have to sit down together, identify the future opportunities, the threats, have to do a SWOT analysis, and do the Potter's analysis to understand the forces around the industry, competition analysis, and then select a strategic direction. What do we want to achieve in the next 1 year and 3 years? So when we are doing the budget, we are not only thinking for the next month or next year, we are thinking for the next 3 years to 5 years. What are we going to do in an overall picture? We don't do the budget for 5 years, but we have to have a direction for 5 years, and then we see what do we do the next year in details, and then we break it down by month, by weeks, by what we have to accomplish certain decisions, right? And also we need to create scenarios that um, what is the what if we take this decision, what if we make another decision, what would be the impact on the profit and loss statement, ultimate result. So we it's a more of a strategic exercise. That's why it's done only once in a year, but it has to be done in a proper and detailed manner. It evaluates each scenario to measure its overall impact on the performance. And then once a path is chosen, let's say once scenario is chosen based on their evaluation on how it's going to impact onto our budgets or onto our financial results, then we drill it down into the operational details to guide us in the future. Once we have done that, we have cleared the scenario planning. When we are making the operational decisions in the future, there is no need to redo the entire scenarios again and again and again. So it saves one time. So the you have to do the hard work at one time, and then after that it will just reap the benefits of having done already these exercises. You might have to revisit the assumptions which you are making based on at the time that you are making the decisions. For example, we usually make a budget in a once in a year, but after 6 months, if let's say we have decided that we will be investing into a machine, we don't just go and blindly buy the machine, right? We have to evaluate, maybe again, is there any new machine, is there a need for that particular machine based on the assumptions that we used to make earlier. In many times in my experience, we have made the budget, we say that we are going to achieve x amount of revenue, and by the time we want to buy, let's say we want to do a renovation in our hotel. So when we are actually spending the money, we always look at, have we actually achieved the revenue that we budgeted for? Do we have the level of business that we originally estimated at? What is the current life of the asset that is actually left before we go and make a renovation decision? What are the cost considerations? What are the cost impact? What is the dollar rate? What are the inflation rates? And this point of time, will it cost us the same amount of money which we estimated 6 months earlier? In these current times when the dollar price is not stable in many countries, the supply chain are getting disrupted because of the lockdowns, because of the businesses are being forced to shut. There are different cost impact. So it's not going to be the same when you budgeted 6 months ago on certain things. You will not just be able to blindly follow that plan every time we make, especially a major decision, or you can set up the benchmarks or standards up to $5,000, up to $10,000. If you are spending more than that, then you have to revisit the assumptions. So it depends on the materiality within the organization. You have to have a benchmark for revisiting the assumptions. And then finally, you have to also measure the performance against the preset operational parameters. So it's not like budget, once you have done the budget, it's done already. So you don't have to look at it again. You have to also monthly look at the actual results. What have we achieved compared to our budget, compared to our strategic plans that we have set out in our initial exercise? Are we on track or not? And there the another term called forecasting comes into the picture. If we are not up to the standards, then we have to reforecast and relook at the numbers. What will happen from now until the end of the year to see where we should be. So you can always do a course correction if we are not able to achieve, or if we are way above the budget already, then you can even strive for higher than what you originally planned, because there is no point in settling down for just enough of the budget, right? So you cannot keep yourself unchallenged, so you have to challenge yourself all the time.